Hi, Jake from Wellness here, and I'm about to take you through a quick rundown of what we're going to be covering more extensively in our up and coming back pain resolution seminar. There's four main areas or key elements that I'm going to be addressing in this, and the first of which is related to the musculoskeletal elements, the physical elements within the system. Now, if you've had back pain for a while, you might have noticed even intuitively that if you do a few stretches or bend your body in certain ways, you can alleviate the pain. And if you've taken it further, gone to a physio or rehabilitationist or a knowledgeable personal trainer, you might have been given some core exercises. So there are particular ways we can address this through strengthening and stretching that can alleviate it. However, you may also have discovered if you've had back pain over a longer period of time, which is chronic incidence back pain, that this alone does not actually cause it to go away, although it may alleviate it. And if this is the case, then likely it's one of these other three major elements that could be causing it. So we'll be taking a look also at the gastrointestinal system and circulatory elements that also may be contributing to this issue of back pain. So something that you may be able to relate to is if you've eaten something before, put it into the system, or drunken something, and afterwards had an upset belly, it's been gurgling and a bit of pain perhaps, or it might have felt bloated down there after putting certain substances into your body. Well, you can imagine that this is going to disturb your digestive tract and create irritation down there. Now, this can also be the cause of back pain because it can also inflame the nerves around the area, and you'll notice that as an increase in pressure upon the vertebral pieces, and this will of course result in restriction of nerve operation or physiological function as well. So it's not as obvious because you won't necessarily notice it straight away. It might have been something you ate yesterday, for example. So it's a little ambiguous, but we're going to be going into that in a little more detail, of course, in the full presentation and going into specifics so you can identify what the real cause is. Now, another thing, as I just alluded to, is the neurological and psychological elements. They're interrelated because, of course, the way that you're using your mind and brain is going to impact your nervous system straight away, right? And, of course, the electrical energy moving through your nervous system, well, the way that it does that, specifically, you may have heard of the fight or flight response before. That refers to how your body responds to stress. Now, one of the main ways that the body does this is that it simply contracts the nerves in the belly, for example, causing the blood to divert to the exterior, the muscles, so that you can fight or run. That's hence fight or flight, right? So in doing so, it's restricting and creating restriction within the abdominal area, the intra-abdominal space, organ system. And this too, over a long period of time, can also result in back pain because you're creating a chronic dysfunction living in that state. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail about that as well in the seminar, and also provide some solutions as how you can resolve that ambiguous or difficult to address issue of neurological and psychosomatic related tension. So the last one is probably a little even more ambiguous or difficult to get the mind around. And this relates to the subtle energetic elements that the Eastern philosophies refer to, yoga, for example, traditional Chinese medicine with their meridian system. They're really treating it on this level. So it's referring to subtle energy flow, which often eludes us because, again, it's subtle. We don't tend to notice it until later. You may notice intangibly or vaguely that your energy goes up and down, but you often don't know why it's going up and down. Nevertheless, when your energy is low, what you may also discover is that your mood tends to also be low. Now, this impacts on your psychology, for example, your motivation. And when you've got low energy, it tends to be that you don't feel motivated to do the things that are arduous or difficult in life that you have to do anyway, right? Who wants to go to work when you're feeling tired? Whereas when you're full of energy, you're out there and you're willing to do what's required to be done to move your life forward. So again, this esoteric, intangible element is difficult to put your finger on, but there are certain strategies that you can use to learn to manage your energy more effectively so that this doesn't impact on you as much. So I hope that you've enjoyed that little summary of what I've just talked about. There's 4 key elements. If you'd like to know more about this, then be sure to join us in our up-and-coming Resolving Back Pain seminar. We're going to be doing this locally in the studio. You can check below this video for more details relating to that. You're welcome to join us, and we'll be going through a checklist to help identify specifically what it is that's influencing you in your personal situation to cause this issue of back pain. Alright, have a think about that, and we'll hope to see you again soon.